Hey guys, for some of you who don't know, I am Raymond from One Fish, Two Fish. Today we're going to be talking about a product by Seachem called Stress Guard. I use Stress Guard at home. We talked about it in the Glowfish video, and we're going to do a little bit more talking about Stress Guard. Stress Guard by Seachem. Grab it today. Keep it in your medicine cabinet for your fish. Just like having preventative measures, we like to use Stress Guard in the shop when fish first come in. We also use it as a preventative measure in all of our tanks when fish come in. When fish come in from overseas, they have a long journey. Sometimes fish are susceptible to nipping and picking from other fish in the bag, and they're also susceptible to ammonia. Ammonia can be a little harsh on their delicate fins, such as their dorsal, pectoral, anal, and tail fins. We just received an order in of beautiful, beautiful lemonhead angelfish. Unfortunately, some of them were a little nippy in the bag and they picked at each other. By no means is a fish that has some nips and picks on its fins or even a couple missing scales a sick fish. A sick fish would be considered something like ick or a fungus or cottonmouth. A few missing scales and a dorsal fin that's a little ragged is by no means a sick fish. They just need a little extra tender care. Tender loving care even if you want to go TLC. So I'm going to show you what a fish looks like with some shredded fins, and then I'll also tell you what it does to my tank. I had an angelfish that was breeding and it was so stressed out that it got stuck between the FX filter and the aquarium. He was there for 11 hours. When I removed my fish, his pectoral fin was hemorrhaging and his tail fin was also picked. Other fish saw the fish and decided to go right to town and nip at it. It's just what fish do. Fish nip. There's nothing we can do about it. But what we can do is make sure that the fish can heal. A healthy fish is a fish that is well fed, good routine, water changes, and also preventative measures such as Seachem Stress Guard. When I had that fish, I was so scared and stressed out that I would lose my prized angelfish. But in fact, after 5 days of using Stress Guard, his fins grew back. A good healthy diet that's high in fat and protein such as bloodworms or a good quality food will help your fish heal. Just like a person, a couple scrapes on the knee does not mean you're sick. It just means you're living life and you've had a good tumble. So I'm going to show you what our lemon's head look like, and then we'll show you what it looks like after a week. So let's do a little time warp. Today is today, and we're going to look at these fish. All right. These lemon heads came from Singapore. We have a wholesaler in Montreal who does the importing and customs for us. They will receive the fish in Montreal, check them out, do all the paperwork, and send them to us. Unfortunately, the flight was delayed. As we all know, COVID has wreaked havoc on everybody's lives, especially with the airline industry. It has been very challenging to get premium fish for our clients. However, we're doing our best to bring them into shop. These fish were bumped from a flight in Montreal, and the airline was good enough to send them to Toronto and then to us. So these little guys spent an extra 12 hours in the bag. Fish are very resilient and they can bounce back, but sometimes during shipping they can get a little banged up. As you can see, check out their dorsal fins. Do you see the little bit of fraying? Do you see the tails? I would consider this normal considering how far they have traveled. Is it unfortunate? Yes. Is it a reality? It is a reality that every fish store has to deal with. Fish come in perfect health, fish come in with ammonia burn, and fish come in dead. It's just what happens. But when fish come into our care, it's our responsibility. It's not the airline's responsibility. It's not the wholesaler's responsibility. It's ours. We take our responsibility very seriously. When we get the fish in, we count them, we put them into the tank after an acclimatization, and then we pre-medicate our tanks, and then we pre-medicate our tanks during the week. We treat our fish with the utmost care because we want you to go home with healthy fish. As you saw in our Glowfish video, we take the time to acclimatize our fish. Once the fish are acclimated, we like to give them some space by turning off the lights, and we don't feed them right away. We just need to stare at them and check them out for their behaviors to see if they're sluggish or active. These lemonhead angels are very, very active. They ate very well today. They had bloodworms with Fish V, a multivitamin for fish. We also use a little bit of stress guard into the aquariums whenever we do a water change, and we add it daily as well. To help the fish eat, sometimes it is good to add garlic guard. So as you can see, the fins have some tear and wear, but it'll grow back. Every day we take inventory of our fish. We talk to each other and we keep track. And we don't let the fish go until they're healthy. When you're in the shop, if you happen to see a fish that isn't doing well, please feel free to come and tell us. It's something we may be already aware of, and we can educate you on what is going on with that fish, and then you go home with a little bit of extra education as well. Being in the hobby is about working together. Customers, shops, and wholesalers. We do not hide the fact that we quarantine our fish. We don't hide the fact that fish get sick. What we will do is share with you what we're doing with our fish, what medications we're using. So there we have it, guys. A healthy aquarium of lemonhead fish who just happen to have some frayed tails, dorsal fins, and maybe some pectoral fins. Both a healthy diet, some water changes, some stress guard by Seachem, these guys will bounce back. One of the things I love about these lemonheads is, of course, their yellow cap, but I love the contrast between their pure white mother of pearl bodies, their red gill plates, and their lemon heads. Like angels, these guys are quite tiny. They're juveniles, but you shall see these guys grow to the size of a baseball with them tender, loving care. Well, guys, I will post the video in 5 days and we will see how we do. All right, guys, check you guys out later. Thanks for watching, and then we'll see you in 5 days.